programming language. This is our 17th lecture in which we will discuss about the variable declaration and assigning a value to that variable. So in a previous lecture we had seen about the variable and the values and what are the difference between variable and value, and we had also discussed there are some rules to decide a name of your variable. So within this lecture, first we will see the syntax for declaring the variable. Later on we will see the user defined type declaration using a type def, and then at last we will see how you can assign a value to the declared variable. So first, starting with the declaration of the variable. So in a previous lecture we had seen how you can decide a name of your variable. So before using this variable and before assigning any value to the variable, suppose you are writing a is equal to 10. So here a is the name of your variable and 10 is the value of your variable. So before assigning a value to the variable, you must have to declare the variable. And what the declaration part do, it will do two things. It will tell a compiler what the name of your variable, and it also specify what type of the data the variable will hold. Here we know that 10 is an integer. So before writing this statement, before using a variable, you must have to declare the variable. How you can declare the variable? You have to use first data type, which type of the variable you want, then space, and then you have to write the name of your variable. Suppose you want one integer variable, so how you can declare this variable? By writing name of your data type of your variable. Suppose you want integer, so you have to use the integer, and then name of the variable. Suppose my variable name is a. So this is known as the declaration of the variable. After executing this statement, what the compiler will do? Compiler will allocate a two consecutive byte into a memory and give a name to that location as a. Here a is a variable name and this is the memory address. Here we are considering an integer as a 2 byte. Now suppose you are writing a float variable, float b. So what, after executing this statement, it will consecutive allocate a 4 byte in a memory and give a name as a b. So what the declaration do, it will give a name of your variable as well as this data type indicate what type of the data you are going to store within this variable. So common syntax for declaring a variable is a data type space list of your variables separated by a comma. Suppose you want a 3 integer variable, you can write like this: a comma b comma c. Now suppose you want a float variable, you can write like this: float b. These are the declaration of your variable. So declaration must be end with the semicolon. Here I am giving some example of the declaration of this variable. So this is all about the declaration of a variable. So next we will see a user defined type declaration. What is this concept? This is nothing. Suppose instead of integer you want to give some another alias to an integer. That means instead of integer you want to give another name to that data type. This can be possible using a concept of type def. How it will work? So type definition allow user to define an identifier that would represent an existing data type. So user defined identifier later on can be used to declare another variable. Suppose you want to give an integer as another name unit. So instead of integer you want to use a unit. So using a type def you can give these alias to the existing data type. This is the general form. First you have to use the type def keyword, then the type and the identifier. Here type is your existing data type and identifier is the new name of that data type. Suppose you want to give an integer as a unit name, so type def space integer, that is your existing data type, and unit, that is a new identifier, new alias to the existing data type integer. And here also I am giving a float as a marks. Later on if you want a variable of integer data type you can declare it using like this: unit a comma b comma c. So using type def you can give a alias to a existing data type. So next we will see the assigning a value to the variable. So as of now we had seen that Declaration of the variable. This is the declaration of the variable. After executing this part, compiler will allocate two consecutive byte into a memory and give a name to as a, and here you will get any garbage value that is up to a compiler. Now what you want to assign, you want to store some value within this variable. That can be possible using a assignment operator. What you have to do, give the name of the variable equal to and the value. Suppose I want to store a equal to 5, so this is the assignment operator. What it will do, it will assign the value that is given at the right hand side to a equal to operator to a variable name that is given to a left hand side. So after executing this statement, 5 will be stored at the memory location of the a. So these are the initialization. This is known as the initialization as well as the assigning a value to the variable. So you can combine these both statement in a one line by writing like this: integer a is equal to 5. Here we are combining declaration and an assignment in a single line. This is also permitted in a C language, as well as you can assign a multiple assignment in a one line. Suppose you have a two integer variable, integer a comma b. You can write like this: a is equal to 5, b is equal to 6, separated by a semicolon. So this is all about assigning a value to the variable. So next, the process of giving a value to the variable is known as the initialization. That means, suppose I am writing a variable a and a is equal to 5. That means I am initializing, I am giving some initial value to the variable, that is known as the initialization. C permit the initialization of more than one variable in a one statement using a multiple assignment operator. What it will it like this: if you have a three variable a, b and c, and you want to assign all these three variable as a 0, you can write like this: a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to 0. So what it will do, it will assign a 0 to all these three variable. So this is all about the assignment or assignment operator, or assigning a value to the variable. So within this lecture, what we had seen, we had discussed about how to declare the variable and how you can assign a value to that variable, and to give a alias to the existing data type using a type def. Thank you.